Bournemouth 0, Liverpool 3. In what is, again, one of the most impressive performances that I've seen from a team that had quite a few changes in it. Obviously, different players coming in that came in to midweek. We had Salah and Firmino come in. Mane dropped to the bench this time to obviously give a little bit of a shared around rest, shall we say. Obviously, Lovren, he was in the back line but had to go off. He said he felt something. Jurgen Klopp has come out and said he felt something. Maybe a little bit of cramp, but hopefully nothing too serious. Little bit similar to apparently what Gini Wijnaldum and Lallana had suffered, which is why they picked up knocks and weren't available for this game. But genuinely, without being disrespectful to Bournemouth, because Bournemouth are a team that I respect a great deal. I've always enjoyed the type of football that they play. You know, they are a smaller team in the league, but they've always been able to somehow, or in some way, compete with, you know, the teams that are above them, maybe punch a little bit higher sometimes and get good results. And this was as close to being a training match that I've seen in a long time from Liverpool. And I do not mean that disrespectfully, it's just how the game went. It really, really is. Liverpool were dominant in every single area of the pitch. Don't know what happened to my voice then. Anyway, let's continue. We were dominant in everything that happened on that pitch. We were dominant with. The only thing they were really dominant against us with was saves. Honestly, Alisson made no saves because they had no shots on target. They had one shot the entire game, apparently, according to the stats that I'd read as well, just to back up, just to read over what I've actually watched. But I genuinely don't remember anything that they had that troubled Alisson in the slightest. Whereas we had, I think, 17 shots in total. Massive chance creation, and a lot of that comes down to Naby Keita. We're going to come to him in a little bit. 10 shots on target, 3 goals, 7 saves. Their goalkeeper was definitely their man of the match. And it was just, I don't know what happened, really. I really genuinely don't. I know, obviously, Nathan Ake went off. He's definitely done some damage to his leg. You know, he was hobbling around a lot because obviously the ball wasn't out of play yet. We put the ball out eventually and he had to go off. But since then, even before he went off, it was fairly one-way traffic. It really was. There was just nothing to this Bournemouth performance. It wasn't what I was expecting. I was expecting a bit more attacking threat from Bournemouth, maybe particularly down the wings with the Ryan Fraser, maybe, you know, Callum Wilson in the middle. Obviously, they can't use Harry Wilson because he's our player on loan. But I just expected more. I expected more danger. Maybe I'm being respectful in that way. I look at every single game and look at it like it's a dangerous game for us to play. But even with the changes that we made, it was dominance. It was dominance. Virgil van Dijk and, you know, Lovren. Eventually it was Joe Gomez and Trent came on as right back. But again, it was dominant performance. Joe Gomez picks up a yellow card early on. He stays disciplined for the rest of the game. Doesn't pull out of tackles a great deal. Controls himself. It was a brilliant composed performance by Joe Gomez. You know what you're getting with Virgil van Dijk. Fantastic performance. Brilliant. Most composed player on the pitch at all times. Then you've got Andy Robertson, fantastic. And I have to mention Alisson. The guy probably could have just laid down, just give him a blanket and just let him go to sleep because there was nothing for him to do. Into the midfield, you know, Oxlade-Chamberlain started out into the front three to start off with anyway. So, yeah, we're going to the midfield. I think we had, was it Milner? I'm trying to remember now. I think it was Milner, Henderson and Naby Keita. I think that was what it was. And those guys were absolutely brilliant. Fantastic. Obviously, the standout player for me today, it's Naby Keita all day long. Just a brilliant performance. Sort of what we were seeing before he got injured last last season for us. Magnificent. Spotting those balls in between what people seem to call it the half space or something like that. It's almost like the corridor of uncertainty or something like that. He just seems to find these pockets of spaces, and he was key for getting his assist. I can't remember whose goal it was. I genuinely can't remember whose goal. I think it must have been Salah's goal. Must have been. Anyway, he was fantastic, and then he took his own goal, which was Salah through to Naby Keita, took his own goal very, very well. Excellent link-up play there. It's almost like, again, it doesn't look like they've played together a great deal, but it's almost telepathic what they were doing. So, and then Salah came in. He's had a bit of criticism recently, and he came in and he looked very, very strong, which were the words from Jurgen Klopp as well. And he did. He looked strong, very good performance, dangerous, electric, all around the box. He was very, very tricky to deal with. And Oxlade-Chamberlain obviously got on the score sheet as well, and he was brilliant as well. It's basically a game where if I did player ratings, no one really gets less than an 8. Maybe Lovren, but only because he had to go off. Not because he played poorly, but because he had to go off. You can't grade him on a whole match. He was fantastic. The whole team was fantastic. The substitutes that came on were fantastic as well. Curtis Jones picked up a player debut, and you know what? He didn't really look out of place in that, and I'm really happy for him to get his debut. Got a good 15 minutes or something like that, something close to 15 minutes, and a great, we're bringing through another young lad getting his debut, and he is a fantastic talent, Curtis Jones, and I hope that he gets more opportunities for us. But I think the couple of things that I've got to say here is fantastic performance by Liverpool. Very, very clinical when we needed to be. And that sounds odd saying it, seeing as we had 10 shots on target, but like 7 of them were saves. It's one of them. 3 of them were goals. We created all these chances. We put 3 of them away. We put them to the sword, basically. And that is just how it is. And we didn't necessarily have to really, really push. Like, really, really go for it a great deal, in my opinion anyway. From what I'm looking at, it genuinely didn't look like it was the, maximum effort, as Deadpool would say. Naby Keita ran the midfield, and I was very happy to see it. Now you are seeing a full representation of our squad depth as well. We saw it against Everton with the people that came in there, Origi, Shaqiri, etc., Lallana in that game. In this game, you've seen the people come back in. Mane drops to the bench, and everybody was fantastic. Firmino, I didn't mention Firmino. He seemed a little bit quiet to me, but that sometimes is how Bobby Firmino operates. He's sometimes quiet, but his quiet work allows other people to do their work as well. And I can never really criticise Bobby Firmino. His effort is always there. He's always working hard, at least. And then for Bournemouth, all I can say really is it was toothless. It just didn't look like the team was up for it. Didn't look like that they were. It's not like I can't imagine that they've looked at it and gone, Christ, we're coming up against Liverpool, and just like crapped the bed or whatever. It just literally just didn't look like that they were very up for it after about half an hour. After half an hour, it just kind of looked like they just went, lads, this isn't going to happen for us, and just sort of stopped. Really, that's really the best way that I can put it. And again, that probably sounds disrespectful, but I'm not trying to be. That's literally just how I'm seeing it anyway. But listen, fantastic performance by Liverpool, and I'm just so happy that we're getting so many players back, getting the squad rotation involved, because we're going to need it a lot in this month particularly. Got a lot of things going on in this game. Genuinely, I'm having to try and plan when I'm doing match previews, because there's just that much going on. It's going to be hard to keep track of, especially over Christmas. But let me know what your thoughts were of the game. Who was your man of the match? My man of the match was Naby Keita, and I think most people's man of the match was Naby Keita as well. But let me know if you had a standout player as well. And what did you think of the performance? Were you pleased with it? And what do you think it means ahead of Tuesday night? Massive game against RB Salzburg. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you've enjoyed this video, please do like it and subscribe if you're new around here. Thank you ever so much for watching this video, and I'll catch you later.